Test one, test two. Wow, that's loud as fuck. Wait a minute. Test one, test two. Test one, test two. Test one, test two. Test one, test two. Welcome to the Jus-Ed More Than Mixing show, newly revived. Shout out to Sammy. Love you. Mwah. Today's guests are Mandel Turner, underground legend here in, the volume is on, okay. Legend here in Berlin and in the underground scene. Also from in Paris, New York. We're going to get a nice story and get some information about this guy here. And also we got Chris Logan, who's also here, artist slash DJ slash entrepreneur slash English teacher. These are all highlights. So stick around. The show's going to go until 10. All right. And I look forward to listening. The chat board is on. Oh, wow. I see you guys are already in. Okay. Just give me a few minutes. Frank, Shula, thanks for tuning in. Jesus. All right, good. Good to see you guys on the board. All right, give me a second. I need a little water.
One of those nights I was feeling kind of lethargic and I knew I shouldn't have went to that place at all, but whatever was in my mind, my body pushed those thoughts aside because it just wanted to dance. It just wanted to fly. This was a funk decision. I even had funky premonitions of me floating around the room, passing flowers to all the boys and girls. Those roses and daisies and tulips and paisley skies. Was it that time to trip? Or was I just high on the sounds of the speaker that was coming out the wall? Or was it just another dream? I see faces in the crowd and it seems like they're looking through my soul.
Test one, test two. It's not loud enough?
Like I'm this invisible man who's trying to become whole, but screaming to the top of my lungs, but no one seems to hear me.
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me on the chat board?
Maybe the music was just too loud, or maybe they just feel
me. It's better now?
Oh,
I wasn't talking loud enough. That's what it was. All right, Frank, Alpha. Don't write in code 31X3B. Good evening. Good to see you too. I can barely see this board now. Arthur. Archie. All right, cool. You guys are great. Thanks for tuning in. This is nice. Started early, fresh. I grind my teeth at night. I gotta take that thing out. So this guy's standing behind me. So this gentleman standing behind me, this brother right here, his name is Christopher. Can I use your last name? Christopher Logan. I know him as Brother Chris. His DJ name is, come on, give.
Loganic is the DJ name. Loganic.
Make sure you talk right here.
Loganic is the DJ name.
All right. And we're going to do just a few minutes interview about him, what he does, some of the highlights, his contribution to the underground scene. And we'll let this end, and then I'm going to queue up another one. Test one, test two. All right. I think that's a little bit better. So, Chris, you hold the mic here.
Yes, indeed. Is that all right? Yeah. Hello. I guess I should face which way. It doesn't matter. But yeah. Anyway. Yo, good day, everybody. My name is Loganic. I go by Loganic, artist, DJ here. So I really appreciate coming. I really appreciate being able to be part of the vibe.
Chris, how long you been living in Berlin?
That's a good question because it was in two spurts.
Okay.
The first spurt was from 2007 to 2014, so that was 7 years. I left, came back 2020 to 2025. So altogether, that's 12 years, bro.
12 years. Wow.
Time slipping.
Okay, so what's your main source of income, like work-wise? What do you do?
Work-wise, I teach English. I teach English at a college here in Berlin. Yeah, I mean, I do that just because I'm an artist, and in order to be able to pay my bills, I have to be able to, just earn a consistent living.
Okay.
You understand?
All right. And we had a discussion with DJ Mike. What's up, DJ Mike? On the last show, and we were discussing the definition of artist. So, as an artist, what categories do you fall in?
Well, as an artist, I generate in different media. Well, I would say it was everything from painting to dance to DJing. Those are my three elements that I try to generate emotions as an artist, know. Yeah, that they are therapy for me as well as me generating for someone else,
All right, thank you. I mean, that's interesting. So, as an artist, you do paintings. You have a surprise for the audience today, don't you? Okay. Go ahead and unwrap that while I unwrap another track here. Okay, that last one was Adrian Calvert, and it's in French. Le Docte de Tout. I think it's French. But anyway, that was as close as I could translate it for you guys. This is Alma, B-O-S, Q, and I'm going to queue up something. These are my boys, Cape Verdean brothers. They're living in Switzerland right now. But Alma Negra is the group's name. I'm sure some of y'all. This one is called Zouk Comeback. Big shout out to Luca M. Thanks for tuning in. Frank is all over the board. Rod, thank you for tuning in. N2C, love you too. Thank you for tuning in. The microphone is still open. That's good. No secrets, no secrets. Digalatori, thank you for tuning in. Rod, Luca, Mario, Nick 909. Thanks for the for the remix, Sandra. All right, good to see you guys on the board. Once again, this was Alma Negra. This is my brethren from Cape Verde. For those that don't know, it's west of Africa, right in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. All right, so if you saw earlier us holding up a painting, we're gonna do it one more time because this is from Chris Logan, and your artist, Chris Logan, and the artist painter's name is?
Well, I go by Loganic, but you can also call me Christopher Logan as an artist as well. A lot of galleries have done that because they were a little confused that it was a hip hop name type, you know what I mean? They didn't understand, like they wanted the government, and so yeah, Christopher Logan or Loganic, you know? So yeah, I mean, as far as my work, I like to make sure that I'm merging art and music since I'm a part of both, right? And so that's lately I've been making sure to bring in musical elements into my paintings. So right now, as you see, this is part of a series that only deals with like vinyl or different musical instruments into the actual abstract work.
All right, Chris, we're gonna let you put that down. Thanks for sharing your artwork with us. This is dope. Anybody that is appreciative of the actual art painting from Chris, he has a ton of work. And do you have any shows coming up?
Well, as far as the show, these are new pieces and they're being cultivated into a new show. I can't really speak on that one as of yet. Okay. But as far as the work, go online, check my website, loganicarts.com. That's LOGANICARTS.com, or Instagram, Planet Loganic. And there's a DJ page there as well as you can just check out different mixes as well. And also coming up, as far as DJing is concerned, if you're in Berlin, the 11th of July, I'm back at the Bar Lounge Kink. And then on the 25th, I play at Bull Bull with DJ Nico. And so it's over there. What's that? The old Fob is there on the 25th. So if you happen to be in Berlin, that's what's up.
There you go. There you go. And we got plenty of time. We still got an hour and 34 minutes left of my part of the show. But we're going to actually get to hear DJ. We're going to hear Loganic. I'm tired, y'all. I did 2 radio shows this week, and now my residency. And I'm coming to New York Thursday for the 4th to play at Public Records. So I'll be home for a minute, but I'm coming right back home to Berlin. So it's I'm not as young as I used to be, but I still got power though. Don't be fooled. This is another one from Alma Negra. It's called Timbali. Madness. Hey, everybody's entitled to their opinion. Name person. Don't be a coward. Put your name up on the board. I mean, if you can compliment, you can complain, and if you can complain, you can compliment. But don't hide in the dark. Be yourself. Be yourself. Probably one of my exes. Let me see. I love it because that's what keeps the blood flowing. I wanted to shout out, anyway, blessings and love to Name Person. Much success. I hope you receive the same blessings I'm receiving in life. Now, on to the next. Frank, thank you so much. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Super Mop, thank you. Fabio, thanks for tuning in. right, all right. So we're back again, and we're here with Loganic, the artist slash DJ slash English teacher. How did you get into teaching English? I mean, that's cool. I mean, if my English was good, I probably would have took that hustle. But tell us how you got started with that as a means, as a like, where did your education come from, first of all?
Okay. I used to teach art when I was in New York, but I got my master's in art from NYU. I taught in Brooklyn, like middle school for a couple of years, and I worked for LEAP, this education learning through an expanded arts program that kind of sent me all throughout the different boroughs. So I was like a traveling art teacher, throughout New York. Moving here to Berlin, I didn't feel like I had the confidence to teach art in German. And I didn't know that you could do it in English, actually. So come to find out later on, I can teach art now. But when I first arrived, I said, okay, I know I have a background in education, so I could be able to teach English. So I worked at this college, HTV, Hochschule für Technik und Wirtschaft. So I can be able to, sustain a living while I can afford an artistic lifestyle.
Dope. This is amazing. When you came, so when did not music, but when did DJing actually start for you first?
Right after high school. Quite honestly, I bought my first Techniques. This was in 88, 89. I bought them for $250 from my homeboy that I knew. He used to be a battle DJ, but he sold them to me. And so from there, I just stayed in the bedroom, practiced a couple of years, started doing college parties, in Macon, Georgia, at Mercer University, around the city or whatever, homeboys. But it was more so hip hop, R&B, reggae type thing when I first started. It wasn't until later when I moved to New York that I kind of felt a more understanding of how to play house, soul, funk, you know what I mean? How to be able to construct them together.
And what year was this when you moved to New York, and where in New York? Because New York's got like 5 boroughs, right?
I moved in 95, and so my first apartment was in Bed-Stuy. I mainly lived in Bed-Stuy from like, 97 to 2003, and then I moved to East Flatbush, that was in Brooklyn, mainly in Brooklyn.
Nice. And then from Brooklyn, what brought you, like, how did you end up crossing the pond? That's like the first time that you came over.
It's a crazy story. The unique thing is I was working because I worked as an admissions counselor as well, right? For different art colleges. So I worked for the School of Visual Arts and I worked for the FIT. This was at FIT before I left, which is on 27th and 6th Avenue in Manhattan. Yeah.
Some of the people, I know, but maybe they don't know. That's good. Okay, and
yeah, so okay, I was working there, and I worked there as an admissions counselor. So I was intaking students into art colleges. You know what I mean? I was recruiting them into art colleges, and so I had my certain majors. And I was actually up a tenure that year. I could kind of see the end. If I stayed there, I would have been another 20, 30 years or so in New York. I could have got my pension, but I just said, honestly, I wasn't married, had no children, so this is the best time. I moved out. That's when I left. I just took my little whatever I took from the last of the 401k from the job and just transported it over here. You know what I mean?
But what made you come here? Like, what was the light? What was the guiding light? Let's think about that. I'm gonna let this track play. It's called Back to Earth, and I'll tell you who it's from after I can pull up the Costa Via Skyline EP. It's very nice. It's like 3 more good tracks on this. Supermod, Canavan. Okay, everybody else, I think I shouted everybody else out so far. You guys are hanging in there. Thank you so much. All right, that half a mix was for No Name or whatever. I've been doing I've been doing this a little bit too long. I care about everything that I do, but you know, it's refreshing. You know, one of the concepts of this radio show is really raw, it's underground, but it's extremely informative if one is paying attention, if one is listening. This is Jimster from his album FRDC 38D, and this is 003. And you know, in the US, when somebody say their car is a sleeper, right? A sleeper means it's a bad motherfucker, right? So when I saw this, I gravitated right to the name, even though he's from the UK. I said, sleeper, this better be a dope ass track. This motherfucker's fat as hell. I'm gonna let it run for a minute. We're gonna get right back. We're gonna get right back to the Loganic. It's the bass line, baby, the bass line. Martinez, buenos noches or buenos días. Muchas gracias. Now, I don't want y'all to think that I forgot about Big Brother Mandel. Mandel Turner is chilling in the lobby, looking fly as ever, just coming back from his world festival tours. We're gonna talk about that also a little bit later. But we still got about another 19 minutes to go with Loganic. I got it really, I keep saying Logan. Loganic. I just want to say Chris. I'm trying to be professional. But I do have to big up Jimster. He's got a lot of soul, man. That cat's, and he's an accomplished musician as well. Very nice. Okay, you folks that know me from doing radio when I started 2001, you know I can't pronounce names properly. So Irakli. Okay, thank you so much. Shit, and shit. Thank you, Benedelina. And who else is up there? Somebody else new I just seen came in. Nope, I guess that's it for now. Okay, thanks guys. Glad you're on the chat board. Okay, so the name of it. The name of this album is Anthology. It's part 1 and 2. I'm sure you can find it on Jimster's Bandcamp. Anthology, part 1 and 2. And this track was called The Sleeper. All right, Loganic. The question that we all need to know is, what brought you from New York to Berlin specifically?
It was uncanny because it was actually a spiritual journey. It was I was receiving signs to leave, to not stay in America for the long haul. And originally the signs were telling me Paris. I went and I visited Paris, and for a couple of weeks I was there. But during that time, I realized that wasn't the place, and I kept receiving signs to move, but that wasn't it. And so I happened one day to pick up an art forum magazine, and it kind of started speaking. This one article started speaking to me, in which it was saying that Berlin was a spot that galleries and artists were going because it was relatively inexpensive, and that was the hub that was starting to happen in Europe at that particular time. So I figured that that's where I was going to start. If it wasn't going to be here, then it was going to be the next city, you know. But yeah, it was more so I was receiving signs to come.
Okay.
You know.
All right, and did you have any allies here when you got here?
I knew some friends of friends, like through DJ Dundee, my homeboy, God bless, peace, bro. Hooked me up.
DJ Dundee, who's that?
Dundee, he's a homeboy from New York.
Okay.
He hooked me up with his homegirl, Karina, who's here. Peace to Karina, she's in Toronto now. But yeah, so I didn't know many, but it was a small handful of connections. Donovan from London, he knew a connection here, and so as well, that was another, but relatively few. But honestly, I'm so used to rolling solo anyway. I'm kind of.
Kann ich sprechen Deutsch?
Ich kann nicht.
Aber, I don't know. I can't think of the word. Before.
Yeah, before.
Before you, when you came to Germany, you already could speak German?
Nope, not a lick. Not a lick. It was like I came here and I struggled. Well, I took a class for like a month, struggled with some cats who grew up here and they didn't know much English. So for a couple of years, I was speaking pidgin German, as they were speaking pidgin English to me. And so it was like an exchange. But yeah, I mean, I learned the hard way. Kind of came up the rough way.
Yeah.
Rough way of doing it.
Ich auch. Flugend Deutsch.
And I would say I'm not fluent, but I'm highly functional, and honestly that's what I want.
Yep, I also. Okay, inspiring. We're gonna let this one play. This is another track off of that anthology double pack from Jimster, in case you missed it. This one is entitled Don't Push. Shout outs to DEOX. Thank you for tuning in. Hey, if you don't mind reposting this, some of you internet savvy people, you know, the old man could use a little help, please. Just repost it and say Jus-Ed is talking shit on the internet on the Horror Berlin radio show and trying to speak German at the same time. This is one more from the, what did I say the album was? Yeah, Anthology. Anthology from Jimster, the artist. It's a 1-2 pack. I don't know if it came out on vinyl. Most likely it will or it did. But you definitely can go to his Bandcamp and jump on that. There's a lot of music, man. So we're going to go back here to Loganic, and I'm interested. This is key for those people inspired to come to Berlin, right? I get this question all the time, especially from fans of my work, my artistry, my music. They ask me when they're quite a few people have asked, like, what's the key to success when they, you know, migrating from anywhere to here to Germany. But not my story. I want to hear what was it as far as DJing, because obviously you got here already. You're here in Berlin now, and you're a DJ and you're a painter, artist as well, and an English teacher. All right, so you got three. Yeah, you got three hats. But let's discuss how. First of all, what was your first DJ gig when you got here in Berlin?
It was at a bar in Kreuzberg called Avastar. I remember it was on Norstedtstrasse over by Gneisenauer. Yeah, that was just like actually, I was able to spend in there maybe a couple of times a week even. It was kind of real low key.
Okay, it was low key. And how much money did you make per gig?
That was, so low, I can't even tell you.
And did you have an agent?
Not at all.
Do you have an agent?
Nope.
Okay, and how long have you been here now in Berlin again?
Altogether 12 years. I'm always self-represented.
Right. So all your gigs were how do your gigs come to you?
In the first few years, it was a lot about word of mouth, getting out, meeting this one recommended me for that one, you know, or they see me spin and hit this one, and maybe they want it. I mean, actually, when I first arrived here, there weren't so many Black Americans I recognized when I was there. And so I did recognize that a lot of the Berliners wanted to recognize the authentic American, you know, music experience. You know what I mean? If I grew up with the music, then I should be able to impart something, right? So because of that, I was able to, you know, make some connections, and they were much more interested because I came from the place that they recognized the music came from.
Okay, all right. So you gotta hustle. No, ain't nobody gonna give you nothing. Now another big question for aspiring DJs that want to come to Berlin and DJ and become famous. Do you have a record out?
Nope. I should. If anybody wants to DJ, I recommend if you're going to DJ, it's probably better to put some music out.
But you do not have a record out. So you're actually one of the few purist DJs that's not a producer.
Let me kind of cut a little bit what I said. I don't have my own record out. I'm on some records, you know, like Thomas Svensson.
No, for what was your contribution to the music?
Vocals.
Okay, but are you a music producer?
No, I'm not. I can't consider myself a producer. No.
So you stay in the virgin purist category as a real DJ.
Well, yes, I'm a DJ, but I'm not a purist. And I say that to DJs a lot because I will play if I play it on a cassette if it sounds good. It ain't gotta be in the vinyl. It ain't gotta be, I'm no purist like that.
No, I meant in the art form, not in the medium. In the medium, yeah, we're gonna get it in however we can get it in. Exactly.
It sounds good. If it comes from a good sound source, I'll play it.
Okay. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, this was Logic. We're going to let this play, and then I'm going to play like one or two very long tracks so I can go smoke a cigarette, because that's how I get down. And and then we're gonna bring Mandel in, and then don't go anywhere, because then after we finish with Mandel, then Loganic is gonna come back and do a DJ set. I don't know what we got coming, but I heard him play before and he's good. So I'll be popping in and out. I might show my ass a little bit, not literally. Okay, that's only for live sets. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the interview.
Hey, thank you so much for having me, man. Bless y'all. Bless y'all.
All right.
I've got a hold on soul.
Got a hold. Got a hold on your soul, Jimster. Once again, Anthology 1 and 2. All right. Yeah. Go check that out on his Bandcamp.
I've got a hold on soul.
And I'm going to take a cigarette break, and we'll be back with the master, the queen of all queens, Mandel Turner.
I've got a hold on soul. I've got a hold on soul.
got my nicotine up. Listen, guys, just so you know that I started a program in April. It's called UQ underscore Volt. And it's on Instagram, just like that. And what it is a private digging session with me, one on one. Okay, it's small, but you can look at the photography story from the beginning because all the posts on there are just about the digging session and stuff. And what I realize is that over the years, the personal touch is gone when you go dig for music for records. There's so many records. There's tons and tons of vinyl and records, but where do I start? Where do I look? Especially if I'm new. I'm like, man, these people are lost. And when I would go to the record shops and bring my records, I could see people just like, or there's one guy that's like, you should listen to this. You go with your friend and he's like, you should hear this, you should hear that. And you're like, no, that's really, you don't want to be rude, but that's not what I came for. I came for albums or jazz, or I want soul, or I want something. I want to find a piece by myself where nobody knows about it. It's tricky, but you can. At the Volt, what I'm offering is it's unlimited time. You have to send an email, uq.appointment at gmail, no, uq.myappointment at gmail.com. And you send me an email there requesting a date when you're going to be here in Berlin, okay? It's not open to the public. It's only by appointment. You come, the merchandise is there. There's records that are not on the websites. I do have a new record out, UQ089. I'm still putting records out. It's just, it's just less and less. I can't win over time and gravity. So I'm just like going with the flow. So I want a smooth exit as I leave this beautiful world. But come, take your time, come experience it. Look at some of the reviews or the comments that are there and the people that have come. Everybody's welcome. You're safe with Uncle Ed. Okay, so to bring in, where is he? Where is she? Where is she, he, she? Yes, that's right. This is Pride Month, isn't it? For the whole month? It's Pride Month? Come on over here. Oh, not here.
Pride month next month.
Next month. Okay. Well, obviously I'm out of the loop in a lot of things.
The rest of the world has been going on, and it's going on a lot of places right now. But yeah, it's like next month in Berlin, in Germany. So,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So, do you mind telling the lovely people? Wait, I missed the board. I'm sorry if I missed you on the chat. Jobo Kubu Boo, and I think you guys just want to hear me say fucked up names, and it's okay. But thanks for tuning in. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, this is Mandel Turner.
What up? How you doing?
Man,
Del
no,
Turner. Man-made sessions.
man-made sessions. What is your contribution to the underground music scene, please?
Oh man, my contribution. Well, I'm Mandel Turner. I'm a DJ, producer, singer, songwriter. I started out in around '87.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a Paradise Garage baby,
Oh,
and
what Paradise Garage? Please.
the
tell us
one and
where.
only Paradise Garage in New York City.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a Paradise Garage baby, Zanzibar baby, half T. Scott, all of them kids. I was there, and that was what made me want to be a DJ. Actually, Larry Levan made me want to be a DJ.
Really?
After I seen how he controlled the whole room, I was like, I want to do that.
Right. Really.
So, and that's what made me start. So I started slowly in little private parties in New York, and it started going well, and then I moved to Paris actually in '87, and then I started working there um, at a place called the Palace,
Okay.
which is one of the biggest spots in Paris. My homegirl Katusha, who was actually a supermodel, she got me the gig. And she was like, "You gotta get him. You gotta let him play here." And they listened. And after that, it just history. So after that, I was just playing different places, back and forth, doing my thing. So, and it's all about house music, deep house, and disco, soulful house as well, of course.
Okay. We're going to take a, just for identification purposes, I want you to understand when I came here to Berlin with my kids and wife at that time, ex-wife now. Yes, I'm still making clarity, ex-wife. Yes, I have 3 of them to be honest. I got a message on Facebook, and it said, "Hey, bro, this is Mandel. I see you're coming to Berlin, you and the family. If you need anything, just let me know. Reach out and contact me." And I read it, and I was like, who is this? I think I replied and said, "Thank you." And then it just left. And then once I got here to Berlin, I got another message from Mandel Turner. It said, "Hey, bro, I see you're here. If you need anything, any help or anything, holler at me. Let me know." Well, I think it took a little more time, but then we finally met up. Was it at Troy's or?
You talking about the restaurant? Rosa Kalita. Was it at Rosa Kalita? I'm not sure. I was wondering if I met you before that, but I don't even remember how we met.
Right, but definitely Rosa Kalita or Coletta was with Kurt and Troy.
It was the Jamaican joint here. You get the roti and all of that kind of stuff and the curry goat.
Yes, oxtail, rice and pea.
Exactly.
From Yard. And we, this was a melting point there where, not a meeting melting point, like, because it was, wow, like, this is where family is. Like, okay, like, it was, every time I got homesick, I knew I could go there and just get a little bit of home back in me. Anyway, what really touched me was the character you possess, Mandel, was the fact that you reached out, and I didn't know who you were. Over time, we've played together at Globus.
Oh, we played together. How many places? Well, Globus, and then, well, the residency I had at Repeat Bar.
Right.
And yeah, when we met, it was just automatic. When we actually physically met one another, it just was family. So, that's how that went down.
Okay, so we're gonna let this play. This is from Daniele Ariely. Danny Badass is what I call her. All Night Long EP, UQ082. I don't remember. And it's not not All Night Long EP. It's All Night in Heaven EP. This song is called All Night Long. Enjoy. Thanks for the link, Sammy. Thank you very much. The link is in the chat room. The chat room is open for those that want to actually send some love, some comments. You can find it on YouTube. So I'm sitting here talking to Mandel, and I'm curious because I want to know, like I know he said we know he originated in New York, correct? In Brooklyn. We want to be clear because Brooklyn and Bronx and Queens and yeah, all different. Brooklyn, BK, and then you went to Paris. What brought you to Paris, first of all? Make sure you speak in a second.
Yeah. I went to Paris to visit actually with my boyfriend at the time, because we were living in New York, and so we went for a visit. And once I got to Paris, and I seen the bicycles and the baguette underneath the arm while they were riding, I was like, "Shit, what is this? This is brand new." I said, "I want to live here," and he was like, "You serious?" I'm like, "Yeah." And so we moved to Paris.
Wow, look at that. Free life, huh? But what were you doing for income at that time? Like how did you finance, and then how did you maintain? Like you got to eat, wherever you go, wherever you travel, tickets, blah blah blah.
Right.
Okay, so
Well, I mean,
without getting yourself in trouble now.
exactly. I'm thinking, how should I say this? No, but of course I left the States with some dough, so I wasn't gonna go out there with nothing. So I always been smart with my money. Okay. How I got my apartment here.
There you go. Okay, all right.
Well, actually, within the first week, I was basically working because, as I said, my homegirl Katusha, she was all about going out, the Palace, and all these places, and
so you went right to DJing.
More or less, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, more or less. And then after DJing, and then I started meeting other producers and people like that. And then I started working with them. We had a collective called Playing for the City. It's one of the first that I started with. And we did quite a few tracks and stuff like that, which was quite good. And then I worked with others like Calc in the Spirit and all these things, Greg Gautier's Finn Love. I worked with a lot of people in Paris. And then it just was just DJing and DJing. And then that's when I met Cerrone. And I started performing with Cerrone from around 2003 for about 13 years, I think it was. Cerrone. Give Me Love. All those type of things. Super Nature.
No, what year was this?
I started, I think it was around 2003.
2003.
Going on tour with him, being the MC and vocalist, and with him and Barbara Tucker. And that started a whole lot for me. It helped a lot for me, of course. And then, of course, that gave me more gigs and more DJ things. And so, I was just always busy. I was never not busy. Okay. That's one thing for sure. And
then what brought you to Berlin?
Troy from Rosa Kalita, which just happens to be my best friend. Because I met Troy in Paris in '87.
Okay.
And he was the first one to move. He left and he moved to Berlin. And I was still in Paris. I went to Stockholm for a minute. I lived there for about 4 years as well. Okay. And then moved back to Paris. And Troy kept saying, "Oh man, come visit, come to Berlin." And I was just kind of like, I don't know about that place.
Yeah.
I mean, because of television and because of what you learn and everything.
Right.
And but then I eventually came, and it was magical. Berlin is not exactly what I thought it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
it's much better.
We gonna pause right there. Let this one play. This is another one from the all all uh, all Night in Heaven EP from Daniele Ariella. Andy, her the other name is Andy 303. You can find her on Instagram as well. Big shout outs. What up, D? This one is called That House Jam, Roland's Revenge. On UQ, on Underground Quality. All right. So we're going to get back to Mandel Turner, my second guest here. He's also going to do a special 1 hour set. So for you people, you know, that are looking for just like continuous music, that's coming up next. Again, just to remind some people that didn't catch the second show of my residency here, is that it's about, I want to do something more than just mixing. I mean, yeah. Anyway, I want to bring out some of the highlights, like the hidden treasures here in Berlin, that are all behind the scenes. You heard him say some of the names. He called them with love and very friendly. But these are like big names. Barbara Tucker. You know, these are like huge. Yeah, his sister. I'm like, damn. Can I get in there? No, but you don't know that, and we're not sharing this so that you can be sweating, Mandel, because that ain't gonna happen. But it's supposedly this whole conversation and these informations from Chris, from Logonic to Mandel, to DJ Mike. These experiences, you can play them back and listen and hopefully get some encouragement and some power. Because if you're really talented and you really believe in what you're doing and you're not getting a chance, welcome to the club. Ain't nobody give me shit. when I started this, nobody wanted to even tell me how to make a label, like just a label name. Nobody wanted to tell me how to do a pressing and stuff like that. And I was like, but this is public knowledge. And once the internet really took off, 2004, you can Google everything you need. That's why you got all these internet superstars out there now. But without talent and belief, belief in your talent, you've got shit. Yeah. So, I'm curious, what brought you to Berlin from Paris to Berlin? I know you said Troy, but it had to be more than that.
Well, actually, it wasn't until it wasn't until I got here. Like I said, I just came to visit Troy, and we went out and we went to some clubs, and I was like, oh snap, Berlin is kind of cool. It's bumping. There was parties every night. There was always something to do. Yeah. But even when I first got here, I was kind of like, I don't know if this is the right place for me.
So, as a black gay man,
yeah,
coming to Berlin, was there any like, did you like, because in the U.S., what year was this?
This was 2015, 2014, 2015 when I first got here.
Okay, but you're young enough to have grew up in the 70s.
Yeah.
Where you had to keep that
undercover.
You could be dead.
Yeah, so especially in Brooklyn.
So coming here, what was the feeling? What was your feeling as a gay black man, artist, dope ass DJ? He can get down. Coming to Berlin, what type of freedoms did you personally experience?
Okay, like I said, in the beginning, I wasn't even sure this was the right place for me. Except everybody was friendly, everybody was peaceful. There's races everywhere, so that's not something I wasn't expecting, especially because we're in Berlin. So
Right.
But and for my reason for not thinking I would make it, because my sound is more soulful, deep house, underground, and Berlin was known as a techno city.
Right.
So I was kind of like, I don't know if they're going to get what I do, because I can play techno, and I do, but I'm not about playing techno all night long. It's not my thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I love me a good techno track. And so I wasn't sure until I got my first gig. Well, one of my first gigs. I can't even remember the name. I remember when I played at one of the first places was Cookies.
Okay.
And then I realized once I started playing that they were singing along with it. They actually knew words and stuff. And then I started realizing, okay, maybe this is a techno city. It doesn't mean that people don't like vocals and other styles of music, which I had to realize, Yeah. And then from Cookies, I started playing other places as Prince Charles, most of the places, Watergate, most of the places here that I'm kind of known, I played at.
Okay.
And then I started to realize every time it was different, but they knew the songs. That's one thing you have to say about Berlin and Germans. If they like something, they do their homework. They know their shit. Yes, that is no joke about it. Yeah. They start telling you, oh, that record came out in 1962 and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, damn. But so if they like it and they like you and they like what you do, then you can go anywhere. You can do what you need to do, Okay. It's just that, I've been doing it so long, I don't even do as many jobs as I maybe could do, but shit is tiring.
Right.
But I love what I do, and I'm going to always do it until I can't do it no more. But, so yeah, that's what that was about.
All right. Thank you. We're going to play this track here. Wait a minute. No, we're not. Because I didn't, digital. Damn. Okay. This is from Brian Cage. And what is this thing called? It's Detroit HQ Files, if that means anything. It's Brian Cage. Tahoe is the name, and it's DHQ TWAH version, I guess, or mix. It's dope. This is a nice from Brian. PUBG Games, thank you for tuning in. I got this a little bit too loud. We all love music. That's right, Frank. I see you guys, man. Thank you. You know, it's encouraging to see y'all hitting up on the board and sharing and connecting to what's going on here. Thank you. 3IX3B, thank you so much. Martinez, thank you. I'm sorry if I missed you. The screen's a little bit small, shot up. But anyway, I love you. All right, 28 minutes. We got 28 minutes, 27 minutes and counting for the first 2 hours of the show. And we're gonna wind down this interview. You know, in 2021, there was I got a message from Mandel, and I moved here 2017, so we started building a friendship, camaraderie, and he had asked me to cover for his residency because he was going in for a major surgery, and I know how important the surgery is. I mean, I know how important the residency was because it was at a Repeat Bar, and I know some of y'all had seen me posting when I was playing there, reposting da, and you definitely seen Mandel, and it's a cute little spot, and I really had a dope time there. But for him to ask me, that meant that he trusts me artistically, and I took full charge of it. But I was more concerned about. I'm always like, if my health is my wealth. Um, what I want to know is that once, like, what kind of support? Because see, a lot of brothers won't go to the doctor. First of all, brothers just don't go to the doctor. Okay. And was that your first major surgery?
Yeah, that was definitely a very first major surgery.
Can we ask what it was, or?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I had open heart surgery and a bypass and other things.
Yeah.
But, I won't get into all of that. So that's what took me away from producing and doing music for a while, because I just didn't have the energy.
Right.
And as far as the residency is concerned and repeat bar and all of that, I needed someone I could trust. That's why I asked you, because I knew that you would deliver. So that wasn't an issue.
Did the surgery affect your vocals?
Yeah, it did actually, because I had to have well, you can't see it on the camera, but they had to put some splints to open up the veins.
The veins. Oh,
right.
Okay.
Which means they had to. This might be too dark for y'all on a Sunday.
Break it down, break it down. This is
Anyway,
the
they had to
volume,
open up the jaw and all of that stuff,
Yeah.
and put in these things, which kind of hit the vocal cords a bit. So it took me a while to get back into vocals.
Okay.
And my apologies for all you people back then that were asking me to do tracks and I couldn't do it. If you wasn't in Berlin, you didn't know. And I'm very secretive, so it wasn't none of your business. But yeah, I'm back on track now, so it's all good. I'm sorry if I'm yawning, because I did that a couple times. But I just got back from Glastonbury.
Yeah, there you go. Tell us
So
where you came from.
Glastonbury was off the chain, as it always is. So,
Are you a resident there?
Yes.
Okay.
I work with them at Block 9. My boy Gideon, he asked me a few years ago if I wanted to play.
Shout out
Gideon, that's my boy. NYC Download, Block 9, Meat Rack, Icon, Genesis, is all there. And they had some great DJs this time. It was nice to meet and see DJ Disciple. And
oh shit, Disciple was there?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
And a bunch of people was there. I can't remember everybody's name, so forgive me.
Yeah.
But a lot of people I wanted to see were there. So, and I seen them and I heard them play. So
So recovering from that, how did the community, you have to have a community or be part of a community in any country that you go to. Mm-hmm. Okay, so when you come from when you're in the States, you have a community, you have a support group. Mm-hmm. When you came here, you established a community, a support group. Yes? Yeah. Okay. And how what's more important is, because of the black men, how was it getting the medical treatment?
Well, here it was. I'm not going to say it was easy, but it wasn't difficult. Put it this way: if I were living in the States, I'm not sure I'd still be here. Okay. You know what I mean? All right. Because of how expensive it is. It's not that expensive. Well, it's still money, but it's worse in a lot of other places. Here is quite cool, and you can get by. You got to make some money, but.
I mean, the key is honestly, you see the money you pay into the system and you pay your taxes, you
get it back.
You get it back. And a very short term is, because my homeboys ask me, how is it getting a doctor? You don't speak German? I don't know all that, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yo, they have English. You have to ask for it, first of all. You have to ask, and then some shit you got to translate yourself. But when you go to the doctor, my point is when you go to the doctor, if you're broken, they fix you. Then they talk about insurance and all that stuff. And that's completely different from the States. That's big, especially for me. I'm over 60 now.
Yeah, so am I over 60. But I also have to say, because I had backup. Because Sven, my husband, is German.
Yes, I wanted to get
Yeah. So if he wasn't there, it might have been a whole nother story.
Okay.
But since he was there and he was by my side, and that's that support circus, and
But
that,
you
you know,
husband,
yeah,
when
my
did
husband.
y'all get married?
We got married in January 15th, 2021.
There it is.
We've been together since 2017, but we got married in
What's up,
21.
Sven?
What up, Spain? What's up, baby? And yeah, so that helped a lot. I mean, without him, I don't know what would have happened.
Yeah,
But,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
so.
Yeah. Well, I have to say that this has been exciting. We still have like 10 minutes or so. I'm just gonna let this play, and then I'm gonna play one track, and then we're gonna let Mandel tell us what he has coming up and where you can. I keep looking at the clock. The camera is here. I'm sorry, guys. You want to know why I'm looking down? There's no naked woman down there, or no ass. Put it that way. I'm up here. There we go. And we want to know where he's gonna be playing next. If there's any releases, and how to follow and contact him online. Okay, so this track here was also a second track from Brian Cage's the same Tahoe EP, and is La Bella. This is Bossa Nova from Antonio Gomez. Disco Paramo. And a cigarette break for me. Yeah, this is a real romper here. But not every dance floor allows me to romp like this. But I mean, that's part of the business of DJing is that, in my mind, I think I have to be selfless. It's not about what I want to do, it's about what I can persuade you to do. But some people don't want to be bothered. Yes. And so we're going to wrap it up. We got Mandel's going to be coming back shortly, and he's going to give us some highlights of what new music he has coming up. And if you don't know the name of the show, this is More Than Mixing. Okay? It's not about DJ sets on these next few shows that I do. It's more about introducing unsung heroes, before they're unsung, while they're alive and still working. And it's good to know. And again, it's all about encouragement and about understanding and education about this business. You have to carve in. I mean, technology has made it possible so that you could build your own fan base without paying, really, without paying. You can build a solid fan base, real people that are actually supporting your music. Granted, I was guilty. This Bandcamp, it took me a long time. In fact, there's an interview floating around, UQ versus Bandcamp. And I thought they were like, I thought Bandcamp was like Beatport and the other one, where they're just trying to get the catalog and sell it. I didn't understand until, I don't know, almost probably 10 or 15 years later, and I had moved D. We were sitting down chilling, watching some old movie, some music documentaries on YouTube, and he kept looking at his phone. I was like, man, pay attention to the documentary, man. He's like, come on, bro. I said, what are you doing? He said, yeah, I'm looking at my Bandcamp. And I was like, your Bandcamp? Yeah, check. It's pretty cool. Look at the app. And his phone kept dinging. And I was like, what the fuck? Why is it dinging? Cha-ching. What is cha-ching? And he's like, yeah, that means somebody bought something. And I was like, get out of here. Let me see. So he showed it to me. And I was like, okay, I give in. And I start putting my music up and start sharing it on my platforms. And now I get a few cha-chings every now and then. It's pretty dope. And the catalog, underground quality, is massive. So there's a lot of music there. Mandel, you back?
Yeah, I'm back,
Hey, okay. So we got 9 minutes and 50 something seconds. Something seconds. There you go. First of all, what do you have coming? First, do you have any residencies in Berlin?
Yeah, well, I have the my residency with my partner Baltazar Martinez. It's called the Get Down at Paloma.
Oh, how often is that?
Every other month, more or less.
Every other month?
Yeah.
Okay. How do we find you on Instagram?
Mandel Turner Official
Okay.
at Instagram. That's it.
Okay.
You can catch me there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any new music coming up? Any new
Yeah, I have a
releases?
couple of tracks coming out. One with Ethan Gray. I'm just trying to remember the name. The demo was Celebrate, but I think they changed the name to Elevate Your Mind because of the lyrics. But and then I have a track coming out with Rulers of the Deep, which is called, unless they change the name as well, Into the Deep.
Right.
So those are two joints to look out for.
Okay. Next question. Are you a music producer?
I have produced. I don't know if I call myself a music producer
Okay.
because that's a lot of work. Technically you have to know. I'm working on it, but and I have produced things, and yeah, I consider myself more a vocalist and a songwriter actually.
Do you have a record out?
Right now?
No, have you put a record out?
Oh, I put out many records.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Okay. On Discogs, where do we find you so that people can search your? Yeah, we're gonna give you the Discogs lookout so that you can search and find Mandel Turner's record, his discography.
Well, well, it would just be Mandel Turner. But the thing is, I've done a lot of tracks under other names.
Alias?
Yeah, aliases. Damn, I have to remember. One Calc is one.
Okay, Calc.
Yeah, in the spirit.
Okay.
I did it with Joffrey, another friend in Paris at the time, and then there was Catalan FC and Spin Love. That I did Save Me, and then there was Greg Gautier. It's a lot.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna give you. We still got 7 minutes. I'm sure you want to shout out some people and you want to say something else.
Well, shout out to everybody. Much love to everyone. In these times, we need all the love we can get. So, a shout out to Troy and all my people, Dominique, my crew, Quincy, Quincy.
I need some Tupperware.
Yeah, so, and that's about it, I'm here, I'm still doing my thing, and I'm going to do it till I can't do it no more. There it is.
Well, it's been an honor having Mandel Turner from Man-Made Session. Thank you very much for being here. You got all the information. You can rewind because this short show is being recorded and it will be reposted on my SoundCloud as well. The wave part of it, not the visual. The visual you would have to check in here or go to the HUR website, which is also linked into this live session. Did I miss anybody on the board that's tuned in? Look, stay on the board because I'll be in and out, but in 5 minutes or less, we're going to have Loganic come back and he's going to do a proper DJ set for you, okay? And he's going to showcase himself. He's a dope-ass painter. Make sure you check him out. And yeah, I mean, thank you for tuning in. It's amazing. We're not done yet. We're gonna be here until 10. All right. One of the artists that's been standing out, catching my eye on the music tip there's several, but Orlando Foreign, man, this cat, man, I mean, very talented. Also, Quantum, I'm sorry if I said it wrong, but also, these are some hidden gems. I know he's been around for a minute. I haven't met him yet, but one day our paths will cross. But I really like this. This is called The Soul Messenger. And I have to shout out. You've heard me play this in a lot of my DJ sets. Enjoy. I'm not going to talk. We got 3 minutes left, and then we're going to get Logan set up here, okay? All right. And then I'll be back. Okay, Loganic is coming up next. Thank you.